Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Showdown with the Levels of Wrestling. Tonight's topic, straight up and out of the box, is going to be music within the wrestling community, within the wrestling shows, generally within the wrestling industry. So joining us tonight, we've got Chris Lamb, and we've got, of course, the ever-cheerful Skeletor. How we doing, guys?
Doing good.
It's going okay.
I thought so. That's what I like to hear. So cheerful, so happy. Brief history on music within wrestling, guys. Music was originally not involved with wrestling until the early 1960s, when Sergeant Slaughter had actually began talking to Vince, discussing ideas of using music after he had spoken to the Freebirds about such ideas. Going on top of this then led to, of course, what we now know as the Rock and Wrestle situation within the 80s regarding Cyndi Lauper, Hulk Hogan, and the cross-promotion and things like that. And of course this has led us to such themes that we get today, and the classics that we all really get to know. So let's get straight off the box with, what do you guys feel is the best theme song of the last 5 years?
5?
Yep, of the last 5 years.
Ooh, 5 makes it tougher.
Yeah, it does.
Finn Balor.
He probably has the best one at NXT, at least. Like, that thing is rad. It's like really.
It's one of the, to be honest, it's one of the few that will also transition well to the big stage.
Yeah, it's because it's rock, but it's also like very operatic, which works for him.
Yeah.
I think Randy transitioned to his current theme about 5 or 6 years ago.
6.
Just 6. Dang. I like that one.
I'll say it. Cult of Personality.
Cult of Personality is a great song. However, it's also like a 30-year-old piece of music.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing.
I'm surprised it made as good of a theme song as it did.
I'm surprised.
It's not a thought for somebody to walk into an arena to be honest.
It's weird to me, like, when he made that transition, because one would think that he would have gone to Cult of Personality when he actually ran a freaking cult. But he went to Cult of Personality like 2 years after he ran a cult. But
I think for me, possibly the best theme in the last 5 years. Weirdly enough, it's actually Dean Ambrose's. I don't feel that drawn to it as such.
No, better yet, The Shield.
Yeah, kind of. See, that's what leads me to it. Coming out of the Shield, Dean Ambrose was meant to be, he was going to be the heel that we all suspected, but that never happened. And then they gave him this theme that's kind of got moments in it that are almost mirroring the old Road Warriors theme. If you listen to the opening 4 or 5 seconds, the whole the car revving and the What a Rush from the Road Warriors theme, they're in the same key and they almost sound identical. Now, that's obviously been done on purpose to actually get listeners and viewers to pay attention.
yeah, it's that opening few. Most entrance themes put on something like that immediately attracts your ear in the first few seconds, just so it immediately attracts your attention, like the car rev or Brock Lesnar's weird like alarm sound that happens. And
I think it's meant to be the noise of like a monster.
something
See,
like
that's what I thought it was, but I'm not sure.
Big Papa Pump has the siren. Like it's.
I was going to say, I'm not sure what the name for Lesnar's is, but I do love the sound that comes up. I love how when he came back, they used the same theme but moved it like up, like a step or half a step.
They did slightly.
Yeah, they slightly remixed it, which is interesting.
They slightly remixed it. They added more bass to the drums, and they've turned the treble down slightly as well.
Yeah, and they shifted everything up a half step. I mean, even the sound at the start you can hear is at a higher pitch than it was in the original.
It's interesting though, because I mean, obviously it shows development of character and development of music. If you look back at the Undertaker's themes, throughout the year, although they've been the same theme in the current years,
he's had 30 versions, hasn't he?
Yeah, just little things change here and there.
Yeah,
like
they
the
tweak
intro
it.
might have extra lightning flashes in it, where they'll make noise.
Yeah, Kane has had the same background riff for like 15 years or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's had the same background riff, and then, was it Finger 11 did it?
Yeah, they did it, and it still had the same kind of like rip, like very background sound, but it was basically a whole new song. But yeah, the Finger 11 did Slow Chemical, which is like one of my all-time favorite themes.
See, when I think of the best themes, I actually think of NXT now. I don't really think much of the main roster. I mean, Ambrose is the exception. I mean, you look at the new guys, you look at the one newish guys in the past 5 years, you look at Cesaro, what happened to his theme. You look at
the rap in 5 languages was like way more interesting than what he has now.
Yeah, the Roman Reigns being the Shield but moved up half a step, I'm not a fan of, because it doesn't suit Roman for the character he's meant to be.
I think, actually, now that I think about it, my favorite of the last 5 years might be Rusev's. I just love how much bass is in it. Like
Rusev's one is so fitting for his character.
Yeah.
Rusev's fit, I forgot about Rusev.
It just drops in this huge amount of bass, and it like attracts your attention, and then it plays all this Russian, like traditional Russian music over this incredible amount of bass. Like it's perfect for him.
Yeah, that, and almost in a mirror to that, I guess you could say the We the People, the Real Americans.
Oh yeah, because it does the exact same thing.
Yeah,
it takes a traditional American like folk song stuff and puts in a shit ton of bass.
See, that was actually one of the few, because I haven't been, you guys know I haven't been watching wrestling for that long. I haven't seen many changes in theme songs, like when someone comes out one day to a completely different theme.
Yeah.
Jack Swagger was the one that caught my attention because I remember him walking back in an elimination chamber to that music.
Yeah, do you know what's really weird for me? Is I always forget he had the Rage Against the Machines.
Yeah, it was a good shift for him. It was a really good shift.
Tell you what, talking about the last 5 years, long-time listener John Russell 132 has said that Edge's theme, does that still count as the last 5 years?
I was thinking more the new ones in the past 5 years. But...
Oh, I thought we meant like song created in the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I will say that Edge's version of Metalingus is a really good theme.
His theme is way better than the actual song is.
I was going to say, I do like how they actually rewrote an entire verse just for that. I was like, fair play, you can't do much better.
Yeah, the original like version of that song is dramatically less good than the Edge's theme.
To be fair, it's almost exactly the same, but it's only the first verse is different.
Yeah, but I like that for first bit.
Yeah,
that's what draws your attention in.
Doesn't it swear or something in the real one, which is why they had to change it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it does. Alter Bridge are one of those bands that they kind of make music that's really well fitted to like the wrestling environment, in the same way that bands like 3 Days Grace, or I suppose you could look now at the CFO dollar sign, however you want to call them.
I prefer that when you just say the word dollar sign.
Yeah, you do. We just say CFSO dollar sign.
Well, here's the question. I mean, most of the new songs are done by that CFO dollar sign, CFOS, let's call it for argument's sake. Most of the new ones are done by CFOS rather than Jim Johnston, which is interesting to me because Jim Johnston has always done some incredible theme songs.
Oh, is he not doing? I thought it was just like that was the band that was playing the music he made.
No,
I thought that was how that worked.
Jim Johnston currently is kind of taking a back step. He's still writing them, but not as much as they're using them, so to say.
I was going to say, I don't think he's producing them either as much, like the way that he used to, because I know he used to watch how they did everything.
Well, yeah, he did almost every theme for like 30 years, so I can understand him cutting back.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see, because it's nice to see a different take on some themes. But I mean, I'll never forget what I watched Stone Cold's DVD, and they talk about how he actually came up with the theme song, which is pretty damn cool.
Well, do enlighten us all so our listeners can understand.
Yeah.
But basically, what happened was Stone Cold Steve Austin was asked about, what theme music do you want in WWE? So he went and he had a sit-down conversation with Jim Johnston, and Jim said basically, bring to me something that you like the sound of. So Steve Austin went away. I can't remember what it was exactly. I think it was Rage Against the Machine. I think it was. I don't remember. It was something that I do know. But he went back to Jim Johnston and said, this is the sort of sound I'm looking for. That was what he made, and then they added the shattering glass part afterwards. So that was how Austin's theme came about. Was he actually, he went to Jim Johnston and said, I like the sound of this, and Jim Johnston went away and wrote something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of wrestling themes are like half knockoffs of things. Like most of them are.
Hey, Self High Five DDP says it all.
Yeah, it was. I think, judging from the fact that it's called "I Won't Do What You Tell Me," I can only guess that it was done by. It was based on Rage Against the Machine.
What, the DX one or the Stone Cold one?
The Stone Cold one.
No, the Stone Cold one was actually just a basic riff.
It was based on something.
Yeah, it was the way he walks. Jim Johnson bases his themes, like his own written ones, on the way the character walks or the way the character moves. He actually gets a tape of the talent with no sound entering the way they do, and then he would originally write a piece to that. And then they would take it and they would tweak it together and they would try and develop it like as a creative unit rather than just Jim Johnson on his own.
Didn't he also focus on the in-ring, like how aggressive they were, how they kind of flowed in the ring?
Yeah, very much so actually, especially over recent years with things like Ryback with Meat on the Table.
I was about to say that also explains Dean Ambrose's one, because when you think about it, he's very aggressive in the ring.
Yeah, well, Barrett's theme is like unlistenable as a song, but it kind of works as an entrance theme because it kind of goes with his movements and the big ba 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 boom thing. Like, if I just had to listen to it, I would hate it, but it kind of fits with what he's doing.
The one that I would kind of notice at the moment, if you want to look at movements and things, as crazy as it sounds, Seth Rollins, that horrible, horrible drum piece, right at the start, it's so erratic, and although it sounds like it's really out of time, if you study that piece of music, it's so in time with itself that you wouldn't notice. So that, going with his character, the idea of developing things and always having a plan, always having something waiting, kind of fits Seth exactly as that goes.
Yeah, I originally hated that song when he first came out to it, but now it's kind of grown on me.
Yeah. I thought it was terrible like the first 2 or 3 times I heard it, and then it was completely grown on me. I think it's pretty solid.
So I think it's fairly obvious that we've discussed the best, so the only thing that we could do from this point would be to discuss the worst theme song of the last 5 years. And it's much easier to say bad theme songs because there's quite often a lot more of them.
Talking about bad theme songs, then I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Bad News Barrett's theme song.
Which one? He's had about 8.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that song yeah, but like I said, it kind of works for, like, I don't know, it works with the rhythms of his movement, and it's kind of interesting. But as a song, it's terrible.
His theme song works when he's on the podium, but that is about it. It's a terrible entrance theme. It's good for when he's on the podium, but any other time, no.
I prefer his entrance. I prefer him entering to that music than the podium, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Yeah, because it has, like, there's like 2 or 3 points in his entrance that he makes a big grand motion, and the music comes down really hard, and it works.
You mean like where he throws the cloak off and he does the boom?
When he does the boom at the end, and when he throws the cloak off and that stuff. It kind of works, despite the fact that song, just as a song, is, like, awful and unlistenable.
Oh, yeah.
It has, like, 3, like, it's like someone stretched 5 seconds of music across 2 minutes and then slapped a bunch of kids saying "God Save the Queen" at the beginning.
But that's the thing. I always find the beginning part for me is the most enthralling. Like, I always want to listen to that, but then afterwards it's like, okay, turn off. Go mute.
See, I'm the opposite. With when I listen to Brock Lesnar's music, I like the wailing, but I like how it hits in after that. Whereas, Wade Barrett just starts off with the dun 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 dun. It's kind of crap.
Lesnar is understandable because he's explosive, so it's kind of because like his music just kind of explodes, not explodes, but just kind of it really picks up after a little bit, which kind of resembles him. You know what I mean?
I was going to say it's heavy, which resembles Lesnar in the sense that he'll turn up and
Yeah.
wreck it.
I think for me the worst one of the last 5 years is actually coming from TNA. They kept it for about maybe 3 months, and that was AJ Styles coming out to the loner gimmick, and he kind of had that Western country Johnny Cash thing going on.
Oh, I never saw that one actually.
It really didn't.
I think I heard that.
It fitted his character, but it didn't fit his moveset. It didn't fit what he was saying. It just really made no sense. It was like
Yeah,
having
yeah.
Undertaker go out to the Dead Man music, but act like the American Badass. It just wouldn't have looked right.
Okay.
You know, what was that WrestleMania where Taker came out to a Johnny Cash song? Because I like Johnny Cash and I like The Undertaker, but I did not like that.
Wasn't that 25 or 26 when he came out to Ain't No Grave?
That
Yeah.
was
No, it was one of the Triple H ones.
it was 28. No, 27. Sorry, it was
Yeah.
27.
27.
Because that song, I really love that song, and Taker's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But I did not like Taker coming out to that song. It seems super off.
That would have made more sense to me in the... Actually, no, that didn't make any sense. We'll
It
stop.
would have made more sense for me if he came out and lost the match to that song. But
No, to me that would make more sense this year after he has lost.
no, that's been reserved for that nice quiet piano piece.
Oh,
No,
yes.
I would have always loved to see Undertaker and Kane in the Inferno match, and somebody come out to the Ring of Fire from Johnny Cash.
Oh, the cliches really hurt.
Speaking of this, so we're on about bad themes. All of the divas.
Oh God.
No, I'm gonna argue that.
Except for Charlotte.
Or Paige. I don't mind Paige's.
I like
theme.
Paige's thing okay.
Paige
Yeah.
seems like somebody who should be coming out to something like Asking Alexandria or something, or Black Veil Brides, actually.
No, but here's the thing with Paige. She was a lot more aggressive in NXT, which actually suited that music. And when she came to the main roster, she's just really died down, in my opinion. Like,
I think that's because, one, the lack of people to work with, and two, it's, main roster, what you expect.
See, the issue I've got there, Chris, is you said like she doesn't look like she would fit with that music. Like you say, Asking Alexandria and Black Veil Brides, that kind of thing. Bands like that are focused more at teens, and I know obviously Paige is younger, but as she gets older and more mature as a wrestler, her fans will too, so they need to make the music kind of almost the similar sound, but not a band like that, if that
Sorry,
makes
I was
sense.
thinking
Yeah, you can't dump Paramore on her or some shit.
One for the Money by Escape the Fate.
Maybe. The issue, of course, with using real music in wrestling is they have to pay for copyright. And the
Every
only reason
time they
that
use it.
Limp apparently, one of the only reasons they agreed to let them use Rolling was if they could use My Way in the promos. Like, that was in the contract when they agreed to use that.
which makes sense. It's publicity for him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's true enough. But, can we remove the 5-year limit for a moment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I was going to say, the guy to me who has two themes that are in definitely the top 25, maybe the top 10, Taker, because he has the, the Big Evil theme, which is was it You're Gonna? No, it was called Big Evil, but the song
Yeah,
You're Gonna Pay.
You're gonna pay.
Yeah, that one, and obviously his main. Those two, I'd say, are in the top 10.
I've always liked his ministry theme.
Yeah, the corporate ministry.
Yeah, I've always liked that one.
I also love his unreleased piano one.
Oh man, the Corporate Ministries theme is like one of my favorite themes of all time. I think it's nuts. Just Shane O'Mac screaming crap. with the guy who did the Vince McMahon theme also screaming crap.
Yeah,
It just goes nuts about halfway through.
the heavy guitar and everything is like, oh shit, this guy's gonna kill us.
Yeah, and but it's also got like I've said, all Kane's themes have like the same background riff. It has the same like piano thing with that Taker's theme has playing. Same organ thing, Taker's thing is behind all that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, who do you think has a theme that doesn't suit them?
Cesaro.
Yeah, 6 months ago I'd have told you Kofi Kingston as well. He's not Jamaican. Let's get rid of the Jamaican theme music.
I kind of wish.
He's not. Oh.
I kind of wish not Taker. Well, Cesaro would dress like hero trash, like he did on the Indies, because him being dressed up in all, like ridiculous Euro trash crap fits a lot more with the Adam Rose Tyson Kidd look than his own.
I can agree with that, but okay.
I think
On you go.
I was going to say, ignoring the obvious Cesaro, who else doesn't have a theme? Who has a theme that doesn't suit them?
I think part of me would honestly, at this point, love to say New Day. I don't get it.
I've
Like
never.
New Day.
Yeah, no, I get
New Day.
the New Day thing, but I don't get the theme. I don't think it fits. It's like, you know when you watch a bad TV advert, and they're like, you could buy this product for a certain time for $6. Ha 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 ha! New Day!
That's very much a
I really hate that in the Cesaro Kid team up, they're using Cesaro's theme. Like Kid's theme is like vastly better.
Yeah.
Like Kid's theme is like an actually good theme, unlike Cesaro's, which sounds like
Kid's theme sounds more like a face theme, though.
Yeah, I wish they either went with Kids or something totally new. Because I don't like Cesaro's theme.
I think they need a new theme for Cesaro's stat.
Well, even he made the actual theme song stop one day at a live event because he's like, no, just stop it, because he hates it.
Because it sounds like a theme like some low-level ECW guy would have had.
Yeah. You mean did have? I'm pretty sure all of them had that.
Yeah, all of them had this friggin' generic rock with one sound effect thing.
Which was initially Sirens.
I'm going to argue one that I don't know if you'll agree with or not. The most fitting theme, this is a kind of double-edged sword, it's so fitting, but at the same time it's so wrong, is the Big Show's theme.
That's because it's fitting for his size, but sucks because of his personality.
Yeah, I'll give that.
I was meaning more on the way he walks and the beat to the music is
I was going to say, even when he walks, it's dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, like that beat is amazing, and the fact that he can walk in time to it is great. The issue I've got with it is the key of the music, and this is where my music side comes out. It's in the wrong key, and it sounds too happy when he's a heel.
Yeah, I've noticed that far too much.
Like, it's
change the
too
pitch of it a
bluesy
little
and
bit.
happy.
I don't think it's worth them changing, to be honest, because he seems to go from face to heel every 5 bloody minutes, so, it's...
Just give him his original theme. The original Big Show theme.
When we're talking about Diva's themes, Brie Bella's theme is pretty weird.
Or Brie mode.
No, all the
have you guys seen the gif of that where it's someone's like, the start where it goes Brie mode, and it's like someone pulling on my cat's tail.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't take their theme. It really just takes any seriousness that they can portray completely out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, divas have generally bad themes. Generally.
Okay, so we spoke about wrestlers' themes. What about show themes? I mean, obviously Raw over the years has had some great themes. It's also had some bad themes. What was your favorite one?
Across the Nation.
Yeah, that had to be my favorite too.
I don't think I've liked any of the show themes in 10 years.
Across the Nation is definitely by far. It could even double as a wrestler's theme music.
I quite like the old Raw music. You know when Warzone, the wrestling game, came out?
Oh jeez.
That music for Raw, I enjoyed.
Did you see that YouTube video where someone recut the Raw's War theme from 1999 with modern day superstars and the places? It was kind of interesting.
One of their entrances now.
Didn't
to be
didn't
fair,
didn't Go ahead.
I was going to say, to be fair, the entrance that I like at the moment is SmackDown's entrance.
I'm debatable with it.
I like that black and as a song. It works as the theme song, perhaps, maybe not. The song itself is good.
I don't know if this was specific to SmackDown, but the one that I remember that I really liked was the Marilyn Manson
Beautiful People. Yeah.
That was awesome.
The one I hated was "Know Your Enemy" by Green Day.
Oh God, yeah. That was possibly the worst choice they'd had.
No.
I like the original SmackDown theme, the one that was just like kind of weird noises, and then the main that was great. Like, it was so
I'm sorry,
to the point.
that was awesome. Can you continue, please?
I can go for a whole 40 minutes of this, guys.
I got no problem listening to it.
Cool. No, either the original SmackDown theme, or Marilyn Manson, probably the two for me. But I definitely like the Beautiful People as that.
Well, we've got this, how the shows have evolved. Some of the wrestlers that have had their themes evolve. I mean, let's look at Chris Jericho, for example. Jericho's one is pretty much the same every time he comes back.
Yeah, he argues that every time as well, apparently. He makes sure they keep the break the walls down bit at the start.
Yeah, because let's be honest, that would be pretty crap if it wasn't.
Yeah, it would be like taking away the "If You Smell" from the Rock's theme.
Or even the HBKs. You know, the Heartbreak Kid when he comes out.
Yeah, I mean, they could have had Tally sing it, but they didn't.
I realize.
At least, thankfully, he's not singing it again.
I kind of realize why they changed it, because it's kind of odd for like a monster heel, but I kind of dislike they changed Kane's theme from Slow Chemical, which I thought was amazing.
That was an awesome thing.
Yeah, I think it's like one of my favorites. To a
I still
pretty good background. Like, it's just the background riff now. Like, they've stripped all the stuff they've added to it. It's just the background.
Like, my favorite CD, like, or album from WWE was Forcible Entry, and I even had that one on there.
Oh yeah, that was a great album.
I think the worst evolving theme would probably have to go.
Cena, go on.
I was tempted to say Cena, but he says hardly changed. I'm trying to think of someone that's had, multiple iterations of their song rather than just changed a complete song altogether.
Oh, probably Kane then would be your biggest example.
Yeah, probably Kane.
Would be the other one.
But,
yeah, I still like the background riff. It's just, it was more interesting with all that other stuff they put on it.
In terms of changing the actual song, yeah, Cena. Actually, no, in terms of changing the actual song, that would probably go to Barrett.
I think, Mark Henry had one of the best movements upward in terms of themes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because his stuff was trash until we got up to his current one, which is just fantastic.
A Hall of Pain or whatever it's called. I love this one.
I love the upgrade that Randy Orton got. I mean, everyone loves the old one, but still the upgrade was from
Randy Orton had two good upgrades. He went from the CM Punk "This Fire Burns" in the wrong key.
Yeah, that was
then
terrible.
going to "Burn in the Light"
To them voices.
I mean, that's progressively improving every time.
Yeah.
I think the upgrade from Burn in the Light to voices, though, was more to do with the change of character, because he went from being this young, I don't want to say cartoony heel, but he kind of was.
Yeah.
To a very...
Burn in My Light is still, in my mind, a more listenable song. But yeah, it just doesn't click with who he is anymore.
No.
I think Voices is a much better song.
I think there was a line in "Burn Inside My Light" that always sticks in my head. I think it was the first line that kicks in. And it was like and hey, nothing you can say. Like, whatever that was, it absolutely blew my mind the first time I heard it.
Yeah, because they kind of slow and speed up the opening line, and it's really weird and it's cool. And then it's just a generic
Yeah.
song.
Well, and it worked so well for him when he came out and just stood at the ringside and had the kind of sparks shooting down. It just worked so well.
Oh
I
man,
miss those sparks so
the
bad.
spark shooting down thing, it was like such a unique part of the entrance. It was so like great in that time period.
I just thought of someone's theme that we haven't mentioned for bad
No.
themes.
Oh, bad themes. Okay, go on.
Yeah, Sin Cara.
Oh, I like Sin Cara's theme.
But it's fine. Like I don't have like it's upbeat and it
And
works.
arguably Sheamus.
Oh, Sheamus
God.
is one lobster head. No one likes
It's
lobster
horrible.
head.
Sheamus' theme is weird. I don't hate it, but it just doesn't sound right.
I think Dropkick Murphys would suit him a bit more.
Oh God, don't go there.
I just want, I don't know. He does need a new theme. Like I hope if all
No,
those
badly.
rumors are I hope that if all those rumors are true when he comes back like a super hardcore big heel, I want him to have a different theme.
He cannot
At
walk
least-
up to that theme music if he's a big bad heel.
Yeah, that's
I've
what I'm saying. I need it to go away.
And even that theme, there's nothing in it that really pumps you up. It's so generic now. It's like what? I think whatever.
It's the same with Cena's.
True, but it's also the character. Like he actually still builds up. Like because of the character, it's kind of like okay, the music is still in a way relevant. But Sheamus himself, he's not as charismatic to really. How can I put this? Kind of like carry the music. I don't know. I don't know how to
Well,
put it.
it doesn't reflect. Okay, the way Sheamus works is he's usually kind of a generic, like average worker guy for the first like half a match, and then he goes nuts in the second half and he gets all sweaty and red. And so in the second half, he's diving off the top rope and actually doing shit.
And
I wish they reflected that in the theme.
Yeah, but by the time they get to the second half and the theme finally picks up pace, he'll be in a fucking ring and it'll be done.
Let me ask you then, guys. Obviously, you've all watched wrestling for a while now. Chris, obviously, a little less. But what do you look for in an effective theme? Like, what do you feel each theme should have that needs to make it effective?
Something to set the atmosphere.
A proper representation of a character.
Yeah, I like the almost every great wrestling theme has had the first 3 or 4 seconds audio like big sound that like attracts your attention, like Undertaker dongs and Kane like explosions and glass shattering, cars wrecking, whatever.
The women being like oh for HBK. It's just more along the lines of if you have a really muscular, just powerhouse of a guy, good heavy metal music is what really helps him. If you have an individual who's very charismatic, is very out there, very different music, it helps him. Like the Adam Rose thing, yeah, the music suits him, but the character doesn't suit the music, is what I find usually with him.
It
Like,
did
it suits
when he
his
first
gimmick.
debuted and he was a party, but now it doesn't.
I like him a million times more now that he like and due to the fact that I only liked him like 0.0001%, that doesn't mean a whole lot. But I like him like way more now. that
Well,
he's
he's a
like,
bad,
oh,
he's a heel now.
yeah, he's like this kind of sad, like gross heel, and I kind of it's way better than
We mentioned
what he was
people
doing
that,
before.
we mentioned people that don't have charismatic themes and aren't charismatic. Christian.
Christian's theme is great at the moment, or the one that he's using is great.
I've always loved the Christian. You're on your own.
Oh, I hated that. That was so bad.
That song goes to crap after the opening because it just becomes a
Oh, no, of
horrible
course.
metal song. But those first like 10 seconds, I agree with him. I love the like choir of
No,
stuff.
so do I.
Christian's theme is one of those though. It doesn't have much energy,
No.
No,
which is representative of Christian, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
his
really
character
like.
doesn't have enough energy.
I prefer the female voiced version. I liked that one better, like at least
The
a
one
little
from
bit.
TNA. Yeah.
No, well, I think he had that before he went to TNA.
It's
Like-
the same song, but it was used more when he went to TNA.
Yeah, because he has this like, because yeah, it's like that song is like a real song that was performed before he used it, and it was done by the original band that did it, and then when he came back in 08, 09, they put a new band on it, and I still like it. I just
Yeah,
preferred the original one.
There was a while as well where he used Everybody's Fool by Evanescence, which really fitted his character in TNA.
Yes.
Just that opening line, it was like perfect by nature. Bow down straight and for me or something.
I really don't like that they took away his ring jacket from him.
Oh, that was amazing. The sparkle jacket.
Yeah, I hate that they took that away from him.
Oh, everyone loves the CLB.
I've just found out it was Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme song was based on Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine. That was taken to Jim Johnston.
Really? That's unusual. I mean, tone-wise, I get it, but rhythm-wise,
No,
like, the bass line would be like da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It doesn't really fit the same as the
actually it kind of does. He's just filled in the empty.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like an inverse of it almost.
Yeah, but he's
I
based.
thought it was original.
No, it's based on. It's still his own song. Like,
I tell you what, though, I mean, Jim Johnson's he is a creative mastermind when it comes to music.
oh yeah, he's a musical genius. He knows how to capture the character in the song.
I don't know if you guys talked or if he did this one or no. The Ultimate Warrior.
We haven't gone that far back yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. 5 years.
It's probably
go ahead.
it's probably a good time to go back that far now.
Yeah, say what you were gonna say, man.
No, I'm just saying because I don't know if it was it Jim Johnson who did the Ultimate Warrior too.
Yeah, I think so. I think he did Hogan's Real American as well.
Yeah,
like
because he got the job in like 84, 85, so yeah, he definitely did the work.
And I think I remember like seeing an interview. He's just like, I just did 3 or 4 notes and it just went from there. Because it really just pinpoint, Ultimate Warrior's music was always consistent, but always kind of went, built up and built up and built up, and it just that was like kind of like, oh my god, yeah, adrenaline rush.
Yeah, I think he said as well his favorite one to do was the DX theme.
Oh yeah.
But he had 2 of his friends come into the studio with him, and I think it was one of the Superstar's brothers, and he ended up doing the vocals for the track. And they just went, yeah, that's great, but we're not going to use it.
No.
Yeah,
What about, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, I have heard that, though, to be fair.
Cool.
Yeah, and the American one for Hulk Hogan, that one was it's always a classic and a goodie.
Yeah, I think
American?
there's obviously like a group of themes that you can say you could never get rid of now.
Oh yeah.
The Road Warriors, Undertaker's Dead Man theme, Stone Cold, The Rock, The Game, obviously Bret Hart's theme, Shawn
I
Michaels.
think you can throw King of Kings in there too with The Game.
Oh, like, King of Kings is awesome.
King of Kings suits him more than I thought it would.
Both like Motorhead. Even the Evolution theme. Like all 3 Motorhead themes are amazing.
The King of Kings theme works so well now that he's in charge.
Oh yeah. What about Goldberg's?
Yeah, I would go with that. It's a good theme. I wouldn't say it's one of the best of all time, though.
I wouldn't say best, but I liked it based on just how he did his entrances. I was always a big I was always big on that theme. I'm a whore on that theme, all right? Jesus Christ.
Obviously, we spoke a little bit about like WWE. I see when you look at companies like TNA, Ring of Honor, you can see the production value difference. But I think it's interesting when you look at TNA, and they were letting Jeff Hardy for a while, obviously, write his own themes. When he turned heel, he had that song called "Another Me." That possibly for me was one of the most fitting heel songs of that year.
I love the start to the Willow theme.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the laugh.
Yeah.
That was, that was absolutely fantastic. Karma is a diva that had a good. I've just realised that.
Let's call her Awesome Kong. Let's call her by her real name. Shall we?
Awesome Kong in WWE had a good title. She's one of the few divas that has. Sorry, you talking about TNA? Just
Yeah,
had
that's
that
cool.
pop into my head.
AJ Styles obviously had the good one, Who's Ready to Fly.
AJ Styles had like 5 different solid themes. That one being the best one.
Yeah.
Evan Bourne's was good.
Yeah, his I didn't
thought
mind
it was
either.
really generic.
You're generic.
Yeah, shut up.
Whoa. Now
I'm
it's getting mean.
And I'm generic now.
Just shots fired.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I find that his ROH one now is a little bit more generic than his WWE one.
Yeah.
I'd just like to point out that according to Wikipedia, Jack Swagger's song was written by Age Against the Machine.
Age Against the Machine, yeah. They are getting older. The I think it's good as well when you get bands that will write specifically for a song.
Yeah.
Like Rev Theory's Voices, I'm not sure if that was actually a song before it was used, but that just seems too good to be true that that wasn't used as that. You know?
No, I know for a fact that that was composed by Jim Johnston for Randy Orton.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, because he talked about it because he ranks it as one of his favorite themes he's ever made.
Oh, he did,
another,
yes.
another perfect example, or another couple of perfect examples here, are where's it gone? Stardust was written by Stardust theme was done by Jim Johnston.
Yeah, but that's just showing his age now, because Stardust theme's fish.
I really hope that with the whole if this whole Stardust and Goldust thing go down, I really hope that Stardust gets a wicked theme because as a heel, I actually do see him as being a great heel, and
Same.
his theme has to be really something that screws with your mind.
I like his theme. Like it sounds weird, and I kind of like it. But yeah, it doesn't work for like a super
No.
heel character.
It feels
They're
really
really-
dirty being able to talk about Stardust because Paul's not here to yell at us.
He does not like Stardust.
He does not at all.
No,
Like I generally like Stardust, but
it's gonna make me have to send a lot of pictures to him about Stardust.
We all should.
like
If
I
you're
like
listening to the show tonight, please go send Y2Stump on Twitter a load of Stardust photos.
like
Don't tell
I
him
like
his
I like his goofy Frank Gorshin as the Riddler like performances.
Yeah.
That's going to change soon, and it's going to get a lot more violent and nasty.
I hope
hope.
so. Yeah, I'm gonna say another two songs here that Jim Johnston did in 2010: "Broken Dreams" for Drew McIntyre and "Smoke
man.
and Rose" for Cody Rhodes.
Freaking Broken Dreams is like one of the ones that sounds most like actual song I would want to listen to, like outside of the context of wrestling. Like it's actually like a good song.
You see, the WWE version I agree with, but the actual version of the song sounds crap.
Yeah.
Oh, I've only listened to the WWE version of the song.
I actually can't remember it. Let me.
We can't obviously talk about music without mentioning the WrestleMania theme song that was actually wrote for WrestleMania, with all the wrestlers singing it.
When was this?
Oh,
Oh, that
Oh,
was back in the 80s, Chris.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, I recently listened to Vince McMahon perform "Stand Back."
Oh, that's beautiful. That is.
I
fine.
never knew he sang a song with Randy Savage and Jake the Snake playing instruments, but it was an experience.
Yeah, you must know about Lou Albano being in the Cyndi Lauper music videos.
Yeah, just know by listening to that McMahon's music, you've become a man.
Yeah, I just had no idea.
Speaking of McMahon's, a good theme song.
No
Actually,
chance in hell.
Actually, I was going to say all of the McMahons actually have good theme songs. Shane had a very good theme, which is the one I was initially going to say.
I don't really like Steph's.
Money.
I like Stephanie's new one,
I don't.
like the Queendom.
It's odd.
I think it could be a lot better than what it is.
I think considering we have Triple H's one's changed to King of Kings, and now we've got Queendom.
I think she should be Queen of Kings.
I'll kind of point out a little bit of a controversial one, seeing as she was mentioned recently.
Yep.
China.
Yep.
Her theme, when it wasn't Triple H's theme, the Ninth Wonder of the World,
There you go.
awesome.
Oh, I have no memory of that. I have to
Check
look
it
back.
out, honestly,
And
it's a great theme.
Don't treat me like a woman.
And YouTube as we speak.
Yeah, don't treat me like a woman, don't treat me like a man, don't
So-
treat me like you know me.
That reminds me of another great Triple H theme because he's had like 8. My Time is like a great song.
Is that not the one where they sing about Muay Thai? Because, I mean, that guy sounds like he's really into his martial arts.
I just because it's so like it's like a weird version of the Vince McMahon theme because it has like the same vocals to it, like
Yeah, it
but you know
does.
obviously saying different things, but it's very interesting. Like it's and Jim Johnston once again put that as one of his. I think he put that as the #1 theme he likes the most that he's made. And, like
tell you that-
it's pretty cool.
See, if you look at My Time, right, as the perfect example, that's one of the things missing from a heel theme now. The screaming vocals, and then you said obviously it was very similar to McMahon's. If you listen to the difference between My Time and McMahon's theme, the bass line going through No Chance, that is what's missing. It's so minor. It sounds so sad and so nasty. It just makes you want to hate the person that walks out to it.
Yeah, it's
regardless
really like
of who they are.
bitter and horrible.
Do you guys, I know with the Forcible entry soundtrack, the McMahon theme song on there, I can't remember who did it, but that one was different than what he uses, and that one I was like, oh my god, why doesn't he use this one? Because it was aggressive and it was loud and it had the same pitch where you knew that something bad was going to happen when he came out.
I've got something I very much want to discuss.
Yeah, go for it, Chris.
In general speaking, NXT theme songs right now. The theme songs that are in NXT at the moment are a hell of a lot better than the ones on the main roster, generally speaking.
I'll say they're better songs. I don't think they're better suited to their characters.
Yeah, most of them, the vast majority of them don't like work right with their beats.
Sami Zayn's one is ridiculous.
Sami Zayn's one needs to be changed, and yeah.
That is the most ridiculous theme song I've heard since Santino.
Tyler Breeze's, until he started singing over it, was like didn't fit him and was terrible. But once he put his own vocals over it, it got amazing.
I have no comment about him.
Neville's theme song doesn't really suit. No, the one I do like was Hideo Itami.
Oh, cause I like it because I thought it was gonna be one of those terrible like Tensai's theme or Funako's theme. I thought it was gonna. Because it starts with like 5 seconds of like super generic Japanese-sounding music, and then it just goes into a crazy guitar solo.
Yeah, the most racist start to a song that I've heard recently.
Really? Tie and Tie. It started with a gong. A Chinese-sounding gong.
To be fair, comparing to Tensai's, I'm happy with Itami's. I'm very happy with Finn Balor's.
His isn't bad.
I'm surprised that Finn Balor's was not like some like weird Irish shit. And like when I first started,
it ended up being like that.
I'm surprised it wasn't some super generic crap as well.
It's all about panpipes, my friends. It's all going to be panpipes.
Remember that?
I know with Owens, because he just recently came into WWE or NXT. His is very generic, but I can't wait to see what is done with his, because Owens just an aggressive son of a bitch.
I think it's got like a good bass for a song in it.
I don't even care how generic it is. It fits that character so well. It's an ass-kicking song.
It actually does. But I do agree that over the next 3 or 4 months they should try and change it a little bit. It's one of those things they should possibly look at working.
You want to see something interesting? Is look at your main event stars over the last 20 years. They've all had something like identifiable in their music. Like no one has ever had just plain music and been a main event star.
Well, here's one. What about Daniel Bryan?
Daniel Bryan's theme song though is one of the most recognized pieces of classical music ever.
Yeah, like it's the same as Macho Man. Like he has an incredibly well-known piece of classical music that costs no money to grab, but is really good.
And it works really well for them too.
Even people that don't know Daniel Bryan's is called Rise of the Valkyries recognize that piece of music from freaking anything.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Because it's been played like 80 times in movies.
Yes.
And that's the thing. It doesn't need to be big so long as you know what it is. But I mean, you look at guys like The Rock, and then you had Austin, you had Mankind, even as far back as like Razor Ramon. You had all these things coming into their characters that were shown in their music. So I think, personally, to have like a big thing in music with your wrestling, you need to have something identifiable within the first 10 seconds of your song.
Like Mankind, his theme is like one of the least like listenable ones as like actual music, but it's one of the most perfect in terms of fitting a character.
I was going to
say, Mankind theme are you meaning?
The car wreck at the start.
Yeah.
They describe.
Because it's just like it's like a car wreck, and then it's like they kind of changed it because originally it was kind of sad, but now it's more like upbeat with Mick Foley when he comes out. And he had an exit theme, which was weird. He's like he might be the only person I've ever seen that has a different theme for when he left.
The fact that he got thrown off the top of Hell in a Cell and he has a car wreck as his the opening part of his theme, yeah, that really suits him quite well.
Talking of car wrecks, when you get a chance, go and listen to them doing TNA's Mick Foley theme song.
Oh Lord.
I have never been so worried in my life. I understand Mick Foley had 3 faces of Foley. That doesn't mean you need to give him 3 different styles in one song.
I remember hearing that and just being like amazed by how bad it was when he came out.
You saying 3 has got a few things that I want to discuss very, very, very quickly. Biggie Langston's theme song before it was New Day.
Oh, give me 5, man. Give me 5.
I was going to say it was worse than Give Me 5. That was a good theme.
That was a horrible theme.
Yeah, but it's
even the beginning of it, and then like he comes, like there's no momentum at all in that theme.
That song was weird because it had the because it continues the whole like 5 count stuff that it didn't do.
Great enough, man. I need 5.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with anything he did on the main roster.
Yeah,
he never ever did the King Kong Bundy 5 count thing on the main roster.
When it was in NXT, it made more sense.
Yeah, it made a lot more sense.
I was also going to discuss 3 because it's 3rd generation stuff. Well, I believe it's 3rd generation, 2nd generation or 3rd. Curtis Axel's theme.
Oh,
Aaron,
this thing's awesome.
I was going to say, Aaron, you may want to discuss that.
I'm not a big fan of his theme.
Oh,
I like the mix. I think the mix is clever. It shows
It's
heritage.
not bad, but
I don't think it suits him.
no.
No, well, that's the thing about everything they've ever done with Curtis Axel is I like his theme and I like the whole Better Than Perfect thing. However, I don't think a single element of his theme or the character they've given him or even his attire actually fits with the dude they're putting the stuff on.
Yeah, this is the case and everyone says it about Taker. You give someone a gimmick, and only one man will fit the gimmick. And this is an example of they gave the gimmick to Curtis Axel, and Curtis Axel's not the man to do it.
I realized he was never going to be a top guy because he has like no mic ability whatsoever. But
or in ring ability.
He can work if he needs to. But the thing about it is like he can work like. Him and Ryback had some fun matches and stuff because they worked well together. But like he could have been like a decent tag team guy if they just let him be his own entity and not just a crap version of his dad.
I would have preferred to see Axel with like Kid, not with Ryback.
Yeah, he probably should have been a couple of next gen like shithead guys. Should have been attacked, but also like I wish I always liked it better when they put on the Axe stuff to him than when they put on the Perfect stuff to him. Like it just felt more like a natural fit for the guy.
I think that he should have came out with Axe spray and sprayed it all over himself.
Yes, that would have made him.
Not only is he perfect,
WWE
but it
champion.
smells perfect.
I just like I don't know why they do it. I do not know at this point why they still do that thing that has failed like 8 times, where they just take a guy's kid and give him the exact same gimmick as his dad. Because they tried it again and again and again, and it has succeeded for no one.
No, hold on. What about
the only thing Curtis Axel has that's better than his dad is the theme music.
Yeah, I would agree with that, actually.
No, but what? What were you saying, Monica?
Curtis Axel's theme music is better than Mr. Perfect's.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is like Ted DiBiase Jr., he was okay, but him having his dad's gimmick did not help him or do anything for him except make him look like a bad version of his dad.
Well, it didn't help that he jumped to Triple H on his first night.
Oh, what's his Rocky Maivia was awful because they were making him into his family. Like
Rocky Maivia, anything about him was horrible.
But that's the thing. It has never worked. Making someone a copy of their family has never, ever worked for
What
anyone.
about Charlotte?
Charlotte's an example of where it works, and even the theme song reflects it.
I think you'll find that there's a nice up-and-coming star that's soon going to debut in the next 5 years. That's going to be Mark Henry's handchild, and someone's going to get their ass kicked.
The world's strongest son. Like, that's the kind of bullshit they would do for Mark Henry's kid.
And believe me, when he pins you, he needs 5.
I just don't get why they keep doing it. It has never succeeded. Charlotte is this weird example because Charlotte doesn't wrestle anything like her dad, and she doesn't look a little bit in the face, but she's not her dad in like any way except for her theme and the fact that she does like that weird head figure for her. Like that's like the only time I've ever seen something like that work out for anybody.
I agree. I know we said at the beginning of the episode,
There we go.
this idea of, wrestling in music is there. Could you guys ever imagine a time, in the time that you've watched wrestling, for there to be no music, and when you watch a promo video, for there to be no backing track?
No.
Oh man.
The only entrance thing that I can remember that has no music is Paul Heyman when he comes out with no music.
Yeah, that was it. The only stuff that you were saying in terms of promos and stuff and like packages, what made the Daniel Bryan Triple H package at WrestleMania
Was
30?
Monster.
Yeah, it was Monster by Imagine Dragons that made that package.
It did, yeah. But I mean, can you imagine now with no music?
What about Rock and Cena with Legacy?
No.
Oh no, not Rock.
that
Bray
was
Wyatt and Cena. Yeah, Bray Wyatt and Cena.
It was good. It didn't need it though. I had to listen to Wyatt talk over the whole promo.
Yeah.
Like there was, I can't even imagine like wrestling without theme music. Like, because I only really watch back to the '80s, maybe the late '70s at most, and it like when it was, it's hard to imagine like people coming out with nothing, just nothing. Like it's hard to imagine Randy Orton walking out to Silence and then doing his normal like posing and shit. It's hard to imagine.
The only one that I can really think of right now that I would work with is Bray Wyatt, because he comes out to the Fireflies, or you know what I mean. Like he's the only one that I can see if he wanted to go in that direction, it would, in a way, work because he himself is very charismatic and promo-like.
Well, Kozlov, if he came out to nothing.
And that didn't go anywhere because he didn't.
Kozlov was terrible.
No, of course.
Kozlov was actually a really, really strong guy. It's a shame they didn't use him properly.
He was a strong guy, but he had like no understanding of like match pacing or how anything like that works.
Iron Head from Hell.
Yeah, like he wrestled. He's like one of the only people ever to have a shitty match with The Undertaker. Like solid like 10, 12 minutes, full time to have a good match, and it was shit.
Yeah,
not to mention he wore very, very tiny whitey tights.
I was going to say, when you have a match with Taker and it's bad, it's when you know that your ship is going to sail sometime soon.
Yeah, like Taker past his first like 5 or 6 years was basically just a machine of making good matches. And if you can't work a good 12-minute match with Taker, I don't know what you're doing.
Right, guys, final question before we go. What is the best theme music of all time?
For me, it has to be Austin's.
I'll probably change my answer in like a day, just because it's probably just because I just listened to it today. But I really love Slow Chemical.
It is such a beautiful song.
I am going to go with the Shield's theme song.
Of all time?
Potentially, yeah.
Fair enough. I'd say my top 3 runners for all time would be Austin, Hogan, and Cena.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Well, you got to throw Taker.
I did. I said Cena's. Of all time, it's possibly one of the greatest. You hear that trumpet and you know exactly who it is.
It's true. The trumpet is great because it's perfect.
But here's the thing. What about Ric Flair's? You hear that woo and you know who it is.
But do they? Do people now know who that is?
No, people do not know who Ric Flair is.
5 years from now, people aren't, like, younger generations won't know who Ric Flair is.
People already don't. People do without knowing who does it.
But they probably would because of Charlotte.
Assuming she gets that.
Yeah.
Probably. Don't think she would, but
Assuming she ever makes it to the main roster, since she was meant to in like September last year or whatever the hell was originally planned.
I mean, it's debatable because obviously you can say that the NWO was possibly one of the greatest themes of all time as well.
Oh, and the
Oh.
Wolfpack theme.
Yep.
I actually like the Aces and Eights theme as well. Yeah.
I love the Aces and Eights theme.
I didn't like the Aces and Eights, but I did like their theme.
Same.
yeah.
The original Hardy Boys theme I liked.
Oh, the Kurt
wasn't
Angle
bad.
theme is pretty great for like it encapsulates the guy.
Oh, and
yeah,
I
it
loved
does.
how the because you know how now people are using Cena's theme and kind of integrating the "You Suck,"
Oh,
kind
they
of very
need to
similar
use
like they
that.
do with Kurt Angle.
John Cena sucks.
Yeah.
John Cena
and,
sucks.
and it works.
It does, and they need to use that. I would honestly love that if they could get the whole Kurt Angle idea behind it, but they won't. I'm gonna say something really controversial just before we go off the air. Chris Benoit's theme, one of the best of all time.
Yes.
I'm
100%.
gonna agree with that.
I will agree
Oh,
too.
such a good theme. Such a
It's-
terrible incident, but such a good theme.
'Cause-
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked because he was like this rabid, like angry guy, and the song was like just super intense. You
And
could
also-
feel it.
And also,
It's a
slightly
really intense song, and ironically, the band's name was Our Lady Peace, and the song was anything but peaceful.
Yeah, and the thing is that it was a very aggressive song, but it wasn't like over exaggerated because he wasn't an over exaggerated guy, right?
No,
he went in
it
there,
felt
kicked ass
real.
and left.
there was also something out of tempo about Chris Benoit. Like when you looked at the roster, he was sort of off out of tempo with everybody else on the roster, and the song is sort of not exactly out of tempo, but it's a little further out there than most of the songs.
Yep. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. If you've enjoyed the show, then please get over to Twitter, give us a follow at Leveler LOW. That's with 2 L's. Be sure to check us out on the levelsofwrestling.podbean.com. Give us a follow on there in order to keep up with all the latest podcasts from ourselves, Mind of Carnage, Just Saying, and the Ringside Ramblers, and that way you can make sure that you get all the best content for absolutely free.
We are a
Can't go
wrestling
wrong.
family.
With free stuff.
Who
So-
doesn't love free stuff.
Exactly,
I
free
want
stuff
free
is
stuff.
the best stuff. So guys, we have been the Levels of Wrestling. You've been our fans. Chris, Skeletor, and Cade have been our panel. And you guys, as per usual, have stayed on the level.
Mean
Good
Street
night.
Posse for life.